I said to him before, his low kicking display against Rosa was one of the best calf kicking displays we've seen in a
Beautiful.
very, very long time. And you'd have to put it up there top 5 with ever, because you look at the execution and the damage and how effective they were. I have no idea how that fight didn't get stopped or
Yeah.
he broke his leg at some point. And he's broken multiple people's legs before, Nathaniel Wood. He kicks like a mule. And that's one thing I think he does so well, which sets up the rest of his game, is his calf kick game is so nasty that it sets up his boxing so beautifully. He's been doing very good and close work with Barry, the boxing coach down at GB Top Team, and he's really implemented what seems like a similar style to that of the boys at City Kickboxing, where it's a very lead hand dominant game. You're going to get a lot of feints, a lot of different looks, a lot of level changes, a lot of pouring, a lot of scraping away. A lot of Nathaniel's game is dictated off that front hand, and it's so nice to watch, because not only does he change the levels with it, so he goes to the body, or he comes at a more of an acute angle, a bit more like an uppercut with the jab, and it's just snapping your head back, but he also varies the power with it. So he'll touch, bang, he'll land a heavier one, he'll touch. And the way that he just varies the target but also varies the power, it really keeps his opponent guessing. And like I said, all of these different things with his feints and his different fakes and his calf kicks, it's just overloading and overfrying the brain, and all of this is just setting up his boxing. And I've never seen his hands look so sharp. And we look at featherweight, there are not going to be many, if any, featherweights that come up against Nathaniel Wood that are going to be quicker than him at the moment. They just aren't.
I think so.
He is so sharp at the moment, and he always...
I'd argue he's quicker than Volk. I really would.
He's definitely one of the fastest strikers in the featherweight division. There's no question about it. Just watching him, seeing it firsthand, 100%.
I would say the fact that his frame, as I said, is similar to Volkanovski, it
sort of
complements his style, and he's able to. He fights sort of quite low. Do you know what I'm saying?
He does.
So he's able to dive and get those takedowns. Complement that again, tied in with his speed.
It's true.
He'll get that takedown like so easy because he's ready. He's always there, ready to just shoot on the single or the double, and he's there for it. And that works for me. He can hide the takedown. You know, again, as you say, pop the jab front with that lead hand. You know, he's so diverse and he keeps improving all the time. I think, I'm really excited to see where he goes. It's a shame we haven't really seen him fight more. Because he's actually, people forget he's actually been in the UFC quite a while, and obviously he was originally fighting at bantamweight, and now he's, now he's at featherweight. He's here, a bit more of a natural weight class. Doesn't have to worry about the weight cut too much, and his speed is still frighteningly good. So it's like so exciting. I can't wait to see him fight. Really,
it's a really good point actually you made, because he does fight in that lower stance. That does set up a ton of things for him. Because not only is he in a nice base to really chop with the low kick, but like you said as well, it hides in the level change, but also it pops the jab from a really peculiar angle where the hands are quite low, and it comes, like I said, on a bit of a 45 degree, and it's so sharp. I've just looking back at some footage yesterday of that jab just landing, and when he lets that front hand go and that just dictates the fight, it really takes over. And when I look at this fight, as good as Andre Fili is, and I think Nathaniel's going to have to look out for things like head kicks and stuff of that nature, and as much of a veteran he is, but I think if he can establish his jab and his low kicks, what he does so well, I think he's going to be able to knock him out on the feet. Just in terms of what I've seen with his sparring, I think the left hook may do it, just on the end of a combination, exiting the pocket. I think we might see a left hook knockout. And when you talk about his stature for that division as well, it has a lot of benefits, like you said, because he does have quite long levers with his arms. And what he does very, very well is he's a mixed martial artist. He didn't come in this as a striker or a wrestler or a jiu-jitsu guy. He came in as a mixed martial artist. And you see it in him because he can go anywhere. He does have good submissions. He does have good front chokes, darces, anacondas, guillotines, rear naked. He's got very nice front choke series, which I see him get a lot. And he's got very good defensive grappling as well, in terms of he picks the right decisions, he stays safe, he gets back to his feet, he doesn't settle. So he does a lot of things well. And one thing that I also want to mention, when you look at Nathaniel Wood and what he's doing with his career, if you're an aspiring fighter, or if you're just someone that wants to train and get better at mixed martial arts, I think what Nathaniel Wood is doing with his business and as an entrepreneur is very,
Yes,
very
completely.
impressive. And I messaged him
It's a very
about
good
this
point.
before, because what he's done in terms of building an academy, and he's leveraged not only his brand and his name when he's in the spotlight the most in the sport, but he's also got his coaches involved and his nutritionists, and he's put an online platform out there so that if you're an aspiring fighter or if you're trying to pick value, then you can go to the likes of Ashley Grimshaw, Brad Pickett, the best S&C guys in the game, and you can pick all their brains of knowledge for £5 a month. And it's actually a really impressive service. And when you look at what he's doing, it puts a blueprint out there for fighters to say, look, by the way, this game does not last forever and there are no certainties. So whilst your name's in the spotlight, whilst you're competing in the UFC at the O2 London, whilst everyone's saying your name, try and leverage a business or opportunities to set you up for further down the line. And that's something that he's done with his academy, with his clothing brand, and it's something I always like talking to him about because he's done a very good job.